Hi, Evie. Hi, Evie. Come here. Ah, Evie is joining us for today's video. You sing? Oh. Evie's singing for you guys. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Mel, and I love to cook, and I love potatoes. So I decided to make a cooking show out of those two. So if you're new here, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you all. Today we're making veggie burgers. What do we put in veggie burgers? Well, let me say that we put a lot of things, and we put a lot of spices and flavor and all of this. So if you like food, you're at the right place. This is what my burger looked like. It was really tasty, it wasn't dry, it had a lot of flavor, and it was healthy because it was packed with veggies. So what you'll need is 1 head of broccoli, 1 container of spinach, 1 container of mushrooms, the leaves of fresh herbs like parsley, chives, or cilantro, 1 carrot, and 1 onion. So what you want to do is you'll want to chop the vegetable roughly and put them into a food processor. As you can see here, I've cut the onion in quarters, carrots only like in big chunk, and we're only using the broccoli florets. So cut the broccoli, put it into the thing. It doesn't have to be only the head part, you can keep a little bit of the stem, but mostly the head. Then you want to make sure that you remove most of the dirt that is on the mushroom. You can use a damp towel. Do not put them underwater. Mushroom that goes underwater becomes mushy and they absorb the water. It's like a sponge. You do not want to wash, per se, the mushroom, but you want to remove the dirt. Then clean up your board and we'll smash some garlic. So to remove the skin as fast as you can, you just need to take the biggest knife you have and you put this clove on the side and you smash it. Then you have the garlic that is smashed and the skin is kind of sticking out, so it's easier to pick it and peel it. Then you put those cloves into the food processor, approximately half a bulb of garlic, like 4 to 5. You can even add more. I mean, if you want a garlicky veggie burger, go for it. Then you want to add 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I added more later, so we can see here I'm adding only 1, but I added more later. Then you want to grind that until you reach this texture, a little bit like granulated, not a paste. And you want to put that on a cooking sheet, baking sheet, whatever you want to call this, lined with parchment paper so that it doesn't stick, and you want to put that into a preheated oven at 400 Fahrenheit for a total of 30 minutes, mixing halfway. You want to make sure that you make a nice thin layer of the mix so that it cooks evenly and that the water evaporates quickly. While it's cooking, you want to take the can of black bean, add a 540mm can of black bean that I rinsed. You want to put them on a cooking sheet lined with parchment paper, and you want to add them into the oven once you mix the other veggies and cook them for a total of 15 minutes. While those two are cooking, you want to take 1/3 of a cup of walnut halves and you want to add them to your food processor along with 142 grams of spinach. It says 2 cups or 85 grams, but I had 142 grams. And that was 2 cups, so I just added everything. So approximately 2 cups or a little bit more if you have more. I don't like having like a small leftover of something that I know I will not use. So I just put it all in and I suffered the consequences. But this time I had no consequences. So follow my instruction. They say to take a handful of fresh herbs, mostly the leaves and not the stem. So here I cut that part. This is a handful, right? No idea what is a handful, but this is, my hand was full of fresh herbs. So here we go. Put it in. Then you put that onto the food processor base until you reach this texture. Again, granulated, not a paste. The vegetable and the beans were ready, so I took them out of the oven, mixed them, and let them cool down. This is where I realized that I needed rice. So make sure to do the rice before you start doing everything, because you need a cup of cooked brown rice. I didn't have brown rice, I used white rice because I accidentally bought white rice instead of brown, so just cook some rice. As you can notice, the beans are all like cracked and like open and everything, and they look a little bit dry. This is what we want to achieve with the beans. So when they look like this, all open and that they've cooled down, you can manipulate them with your hand. You transfer them into the food processor with the spinach and herb mix, and you go and pulse the food processor a few times. You do not want to start it and not watch it and it turn into a paste. You just want to chop them a little bit. As you can see here, I still have a very textured mix of everything. It's time to add the veggies that I've roasted into the oven. My issue here is that my food processor wasn't big enough to hold all of this and mix it well. But basically what you should do here, if you can, is to put everything that is left in the ingredients. So you want to put the vegetable, you want to put 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs. This is the amount total that I should have put. The recipe were asking for 1/2 cup, but I think 3/4 cup would be better. 3 eggs and a full can of tomato paste because we could add more flavor in this recipe. Then you want to mix that all together, but you do not put the rice. Sorry, you don't put all of the ingredients. You put everything but the rice. You put that into the food processor again. But like I said, it didn't really work for me, so I took it out and mixed it by hand. So here you can see clearly that like my food processor did not manage to mix everything together well. So I started using a mixing bowl and mixing by hand. And honestly, it worked really well. And here I added a little bit more ingredient. I added some steak seasoning, chives, and I added more of the paprika and chili powder. I added a lot of salt and pepper because it was clearly not a recipe that you only had a little bit. So be generous with the salt and pepper. It kind of makes, it makes 8 patty. So be generous on the seasoning because you want thing to taste something, you know? Here you can see I just sprinkled it on, making sure that it tastes something. You mix everything well and then you start making patties. It was supposed to make 8 patties and I make 9. Because I added a lot more ingredients than the original recipe. And it's 9 big patty. My ends were sticky. This is what telling me that I would have needed a little bit more panko and a little bit more eggs to hold all of this together. Because I did not in this recipe add more eggs and more panko, but it was required because it was smushy. But it was really tasty. So yeah. I will put all of the updated instruction on my website and they are already on my coffee. So if you want to go and see, you can go. And you will have all the updated ingredients with the right measurement for the spices and everything. For the cooking, it is really easy because as you see, they kind of hold together already. So you just take them, put them into a pan that is lightly oiled, add more salt and pepper as you would do on a burger, flip them after a few minutes and keep flipping them every few minutes until they are golden brown-ish. And once they are cooked to your taste and that they are hot and they're brown, you put them on a plate and you keep going. Once you've cooked all of your patty, you can freeze them up to 3 months. Put a parchment paper in between each patty into a food container and they will stay good into the freezer for a few months. And they will be as easy to cook when you take them out in the pan for a few minutes until they're golden brown. And for the assembly, I cooked my burger buns. I added some chipotle mayo. Go see my potato recipe, chili potato wedge with chipotle mayo recipe if you want to know how to make it. I added some relish, the patty, some Swiss cheese, tomato, my pickled onion. Let me know, you guys, if you want to see a recipe for the pickled onion. It's really quick, it's really easy. Some lettuce and ketchup mustard on top. And here you go. Here's this beauty. Look at this burger. So good, so thick, and it was so tasty. So this is today's recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was really, really tasty. And I want to eat more. I have some left in my freezer, so I might make this next week. I just need to have some burger buns because I'm out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for all the new followers lately. And on the new views. I appreciate you all. Let me know if you do my recipe. I am active on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those. You can even join my Discord to share the food that you make. And I will see you next week for another video. Bye bye!